Design your life with the right mindset. Welcome to the Hopefulist with me, Wendy McClure. This is where we turn those nasty, negative thoughts into positive and work toward a happy, fulfilled life. Now, let's get started. Thank you for being here. I'm so happy for you to have tuned in this morning, this afternoon or evening, wherever it may be. Thank you for joining me for your dose of inspiration and positivity. Starting out with the quote of the day. You already have the power to create the life you want to live. That by my girl, Jenna Kutcher. So yeah, we're going to get all into that today. We're going to be talking about mindset. Mindset is what really determines everything. Once you get into the right mindset, you can accomplish anything. But first, we're going to talk about some good news. That's right, some good news. I had pulled up a story on my phone, and then that quickly I went, I don't need my phone to take over into the kitchen to do the podcast. Yeah, that's right. I think I can remember it. This Friday, August 6th, I hope you're listening to this week. Free root beer floats. Yes, free root beer floats. It's from it's either A&W or Stewart's. I think it's A&W. Let me look again. I don't want to leave you guys hanging. I can look that up real quick, right? Free root beer floats. Come on, Google. Come on, Google. I'm pretty sure it was A&W. Free root beer float. Yep, A&W. This Friday, August 6th. So it's National Root Beer Day. And everybody gets a free A&W root beer float from 2 p.m. to 8 p.m. All you have to do is stop by and pick up your freebie. They are, however, asking you to make a donation to Veterans Affairs. They will be donating all that money to our vets, and that is a much worthy cause. So keep that in mind. And if you have a hankering for a root beer float, then that is the place for you to be on Friday. We don't really have any A&Ws around where we live. We do have Stewart's, though. That's why Stewart's came up into my mind. They have some mighty fine root beer at Stewart's. I haven't been there in a really long time. I do know that they used to have an A&W in the mall food court where I used to live. I do not know if it is still there. Every once in a while, I'd go there and get me some little mini corn dogs. Oh, man, they're so good. Oh, who doesn't like a corn dog? Come on. So delicious. Okay, moving on. Now that I'm all hungry and want a corn dog and a root beer float, we are going to talk about designing your life. That's right. You are the designer. You can interior design the heck out of your life. But as of right now, do you feel stuck? Is life running you instead of you running your life? Does it seem like your current life is far from the life you have dreamt of, but you don't know how to break out? Yeah, I've been there. Getting up every day, dreading going to work, dreading having to do all the things that needed to be done, looking forward to getting back to my bed. I have typically taken a nap most days with my early schedule throughout my career, and I would often wake up, and the first thought in my head would be, I can't wait to get home and take a nap. One day it occurred to me how sad that was. I couldn't wait to get back to sleep. We all love our sleep, don't I get it. You know, you wake up, you're tired, you're exhausted, you don't want to get out of bed. But when you wake up every day and can't wait to get back to bed, that is not a life. That is escaping life. I realized it was time to do something different. But what? I was miserable in my job, not because I hated my job. In fact, I loved my job, but my partner, who I worked very closely with, was making my life a living hell. Did you ever have a coworker who worked against you constantly? Who did everything they could to sabotage every single thing you did, even if it was detrimental to them as well. No, it wasn't that bad for you. Well, that's great because you're already in a better place than I was. I hope you weren't in that situation. Because honestly, if I were to have given myself advice at that point, I would have said to quit, to leave. Life is too damn short to let someone have that much of a negative impact in your life, especially on a daily basis. I know that's a lot easier said than done, as most things are. And here's the thing, I didn't want to quit. I had worked really hard to get and keep this job. It was a dream job. And these types of jobs don't come around very often. Mostly, I just didn't want him to let him win. If I left, then he would get to take over our show on his own while I sat home and wondered, well, what the heck am I going to do with the rest of my life? I wasn't going to let him win. But now that I think back on it, was I winning while coming home miserable every day because of yet another incident where he tried to bring me down? I eventually was let go from that job because of issues, with my partner. It wasn't a good situation. When I lost my job, I felt very victimized. I was devastated. Mostly I was heartbroken that I lost a job I really wanted to keep despite how hard my partner made it for me. But that is when inspiration stuck. That's when it struck, That is when I finally started to think differently. In the week following my job loss, I thought about how unfair I had felt I had been treated. I realized that I wanted to make sure I was never put in a position again where I could lose my job because of others' actions. But that meant working for myself. That is the only true way I can make sure that doesn't happen again. And honestly, I had never even thought about working for myself, starting a business of my own and being a boss, the boss. In fact, I never even wanted to be a boss. I didn't want the stress and responsibility of it. But I knew that podcasting was starting to kind of take off, and I had a friend who told me he could help me get started if I wanted to. I thought to myself, okay, let me give it a go. From that point on, I got more and more ideas on how I could make a business of my own work. Speaking events, coaching, writing. The more I thought about it, the more possibilities I saw. The only reason I was ever able to do any of this was because I was able to change my fixed mindset to a growth mindset. Oh, what are those, do you ask? Oh, well, I'm going to tell you. Someone with a fixed mindset thinks their intelligence and skills are fixed. That they already know everything they're ever going to know and go about their life based on that information. For example, when I lost my job, my fixed mindset told me that I would have to find another job in my chosen field of radio broadcasting or go find a 9-to-5 job somewhere doing something else. That is what I've been taught to do. It is what I believed my options were, my only options. But by working on a growth mindset, I realized those weren't the only two options. In fact, I feel pretty silly now that my mind was that limited. Once I let my mind wander, I came up with all kinds of possibilities I had never even considered before. Because someone with a growth mindset knows they can achieve anything they set out to do with hard work and learning. And that's what I want to talk about today. Which type of mindset do you think you have? I had a fixed mindset for most of my life. I thought I could only do what I already knew how to do, and there wouldn't be any other options. A fixed mindset isn't optimal, but it's not fatal either. It's okay if you have one. If you're securing your job and you're happy with where you are and what you have, then maybe you don't need to strive for a growth mindset. But if you do want to try new things, you need to be open to skills you don't currently have. It's not just about work, it's about hobbies and activities too. If you want to switch your mindset from fixed to growth, you must remind yourself that your possibilities are indeed endless. That once you get an idea about something, there is a huge potential for it to grow in a million different directions if you let your mind think about it. Know that you can do anything as long as you are willing to work at it. And remember, you will suck at first. Few of us can naturally pick up a new skill and have everything go well right away. Nope. You're just not going to be good at it at first. But you keep doing it and practicing, and you will get better. There is no doubt in my mind. If you'd like to learn even more about growth versus fixed mindset, you can check out the book called Mindset by Dr. Carol Dweck. That's D-W-E-C-K. A lot of good information in there. So tomorrow, when you get up, tell yourself that today can be different than yesterday. Then give yourself time to consider how. And then how can you make that happen? It just keeps growing from there. It's a growth mindset. I really do crack myself up. Oh, jeez. At least I'm entertained. If you are interested in designing your own life and don't quite know where to start, I can help. I'm here to help people. I am here for you. Set up a free call with me where we can discuss plans to get you started onto the path of your dream life. Stop waiting for life to get better. You have to make it better, and you can design the life of your dreams. If you like this episode, please leave me a review if you haven't already on the platform of your choice, be it Apple, Spotify, TuneIn, etc. Share it with a friend or two on social media. I would be most grateful. And now I want you to go on out there and see the world in a whole new light. The world truly is your oyster. Now go find that pearl and be badass. Thank you for listening to The Hopefulist. Now, don't you feel good? Make sure you come back next week. See you then.